started.
Donald 6909. So let's see. Let's try d4 again. I tried d4 last time and I ended up in a Sicilian. So looks like we'll get a queen's pawn opening this time. Okay, he's going to take the exchange variation. So that's okay. You can take e3. I guess you're supposed to play knight f3 before e3. But you get the pawn back right away this way. He didn't try to hold on to it. There's some interesting stuff that goes on if he tries to hold on to the pawn. So let's play knight f3 now. And knight c3. Yeah, I have a little more space in this opening. I'm going to retreat my bishop at some point. Maybe. I mean, it doesn't seem to be doing a lot of good on this diagonal. I could play bishop to d3 and trade it off for his bishop. He could go to g4. So maybe I'll just play this move first, and then bishop d3 sort of forces a trade of light squared bishops. And it also gives me the idea of playing knight to h5, harassing his bishop. It's got nowhere to go. Yeah, now that he's castled kingside, I was waiting to do that until he castled. But it's probably a good trade for me to win this light squared bishop and to keep my light squared bishop, which is should be a good piece with these dark squared pawns in the center. So after knight to h5, the bishop can go to here. No, there's nowhere it can go to avoid a trade. He can move his knight with tempo here, but I can grab his bishop. And whatever he takes, well, if he takes my knight, he can do that. Okay, I don't want to trade bishops now that the his bishop is under threat. I want to keep mine and have the advantage of the bishop pair. And that's one way to get it. And then this knight here is kind of annoying. And if I just push the pawn to chase it away, he's got this great square on g3. So it's I think f3 is a real mistake here.
Server announcement.
If I play bishop to d3, he can play f4 and probably should. Oh, and I should notice that I should notice while I'm talking that my knight is hanging and do something about that. So was that hanging? Oh no, it's only hanging after he takes. Right. So I have to play knight f3. And there's no point in discussing those other moves except as possibilities later in the game. So his knight can come in here. I guess those are covered. And he can try and break up my center. Huh. Interesting. So if pawn takes, knight takes is okay for me, I guess. Let's try bishop d3 here. See how he reacts. Plays f4, then I can take. No, he didn't. He just retreated. So I can play knight to knight to e5. Bishop takes, pawn takes. The knight has to move again. And if I play knight e5 and he takes the pawn, I take back. Now I'll have a isolated queen's pawn, but I will have gotten rid of both of his bishops. No, that's not true. Only one bishop. So I'll have, if he takes, I'll take back to defend my knight. If he takes this way, I thought maybe this was better for me. I mean, his knight is got to move. This square on h7 maybe is a little bit loose, but I guess there's nothing going on right now. Let's. I want to play queen to c2, and I want to keep his knight. I want to keep his knight out of b4. Yeah, I can still play queen c2.
Checkmate.
Well, that was a short game. I probably won't upload that one.
Incoming challenge.
Okay, well, let's try a new game.
Game started.
Let's see. e4. Yeah, let's go for the old e4, e5. See what he does. Ruy Lopez. Okay. Well, let's play the bishop c5 line. I talked about this line in one of my chess basics videos. It's a little bit tricky to play, but it's basically okay for black, and it's a little different than the main line with bishop e2. He could have just played d4 there, and but it doesn't actually win material. But there's some interesting lines there. So he's playing with his queen, defending his queen defending e4. That's interesting. I'm going to castle. And oh, he's supporting e4. Yeah, see, he could have just played d4. He doesn't really need the rook there to do that. And he's weakened the square on f2. So the question is, can I play knight g4? And I guess not. If I play knight g4, he still will play d4. And I can't really get anything out of that. But well, let's play bishop to g4. He hasn't stopped me from pinning this guy. And he goes d3. Interesting. So yeah, he's playing this in a very quiet way. So what can I do? Let's bring my knight into the game. I'm going to and he just takes. I was going to kick the bishop with h6, and the knight on g6, the bishop has no good retreat. So that was the one point of this knight g6 idea. Now, okay, he's defended his knight, but he's given me this f4 square, which is always an interesting square for the knight. And now a d3. d3 is not hanging. Bishop takes, knight takes is not hanging. And he's defended g2. Bishop to here's either knight or bishop to h3, and here maybe queen here first to threaten knight to threaten knight h3. So he just moves the he just moves that knight. How about here? Is he going to just move the knight back? The f-pawn is pinned by this bishop, since he never played d4, which you really have to. I think d4 is mandatory in these positions. The bishop pin on this diagonal is pretty annoying. Okay, so is there a win here? Knight to h6, pawn h6, bishop h6 does not appear to be winning. Oh, how about pawn to g4, g5? Pawn to g5, where is he going with the knight? He goes to f5. Okay, so pawn g5, knight f5, and then I can do something on h6. Or I can take on take on f3 rather. h3 or f3? I think f3. So bishop takes f3. You know, he's got this knight g3 intermediate move. But if he allows this, now, should I play the check? Yeah, I should play the check first, right? Knight, here, check. Oh, the king could come to g2. Okay, so queen takes f3, threatens knight h3, checkmate. But if he just plays his knight back to g3, I don't know that I have anything great. Because the knight on g3 interrupts the queen's defense of the knight on h3. But that did not solve his problem.
Check.
So his only way to escape checkmate, rather, it's not checkmate because he can play queen takes knight. But yeah, I assume I have to assume this is winning. Okay, I'm going to upload this game, I guess. It was kind of one-sided, but I like the attacking. How to attack from the black side of the Ruy when white doesn't play appropriately. Okay, he's playing on. Well, the game is not over. f2 is defended. And what's the material? So I have a queen for a knight, basically. The knight's a good piece. Let's open up the center here. I can play d5 immediately because he can't take it without losing his knight. So the simplest way to win these games when you have a better piece, like the queen is better than the knight, but when there's lots of pawns and lots of pieces on the board, you know, maybe it's hard for that for the queen's strengths to really shine. So what you need to do is remove some of the pieces from the board. And the queen just gets stronger and stronger in relation to the remaining pieces. So, but I have to not lose the queen. So queen to f3 maybe, renewing the threat on f2. Yeah, how does he actually defend f2? He doesn't.
Check.
He does not defend it. Okay, but it's not checkmate just yet. Bring in the rook. So rook defending the bishop is met by queen takes g1 checkmate. So, and I'm also threatening.
Check.
I'm also threatening queen takes bishop checkmate. He should have moved the knight somewhere that defends the bishop, here or here. Oh, I can take it in both those squares. Okay.
Check.
So here, just move the knight, move the king where it can't be checked again. And now he can't get back to defend the bishop. He could move the bishop out of the way, and then I take on h2 and it's checkmate. So there's just too many threats here. Queen g1 mate is a threat if the rook...
White resigns.
Okay. Yeah, so I will maybe upload both of these games and leave it as a short doubleheader, kind of a tactical exercise. See you guys later. Bye.